Okay, so welcome to another edition of Madak Monday. Super excited today. We're going to try something a little bit new. We're going to do interview style. We've got Dan Erickson here of Brand Shouter. Dan, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So today's Madak Monday that went out via email was a little bit, or talked about the G Suite package. And when we talk about G Suite, I think about the last couple of years that you and I have been working together. You've been the most knowledgeable person that I know of around G Suite. And so what we wanted to bring you on to talk a little bit about, the benefits that you see in G Suite and kind of the main reason why a small or medium-sized business should embrace onboarding G Suite to run their platforms.
Sure. So yeah, I've been working with G Suite. Actually, funny enough, back in the day, I tested out a platform called Rightly, which was one of the first online Microsoft Word alternatives. And Google eventually bought that and used that as the base for what was then called Google Apps. Was that the first name? I don't know. They've changed their name like 3 or 4 times now.
Right.
But back in those days, it was a free testing platform that businesses could get in and use. And it had a real base feature set. And fast forward to today, now it has a really wide feature set. It's paid, but it's definitely worth every penny you pay for it. And it all started back in the day with this online word processing platform that Google ended up buying. So really feature rich, a lot of things. If anybody watching this has seen their Madak Monday, they would see some of the features kind of highlighted there. But yeah. Is there anything specifically you want me to get into, or?
Yeah, well, so let's talk about, so that's, we talk about the what it is in the Madak Monday. And so what I kind of want to dig in with you is if we're a small or medium-sized business, what are the main benefits of, we prior to going live, we talked about, the whole collection as a whole, the suite, which is, obviously benefits, from capturing your domains to, programs and collaborating. For me, the biggest thing that we use it here for is collaborating amongst the team. And so wanted to kind of dig in with you some of the big benefits of, collaboration or, integrations throughout
Sure.
all the platforms.
Yeah, so when kind of the introduction with most businesses for me is professional grade email. A lot of people have used the Gmail platform for a personal email account. Google actually uses that same platform, but for at madak.com, at brandshouter.com, at yourbusiness.com email. And it's very robust. It's one of the best email platforms on the web. And it still connects with Outlook, with Apple Mail, with any other type of client you need for email. So first and foremost, it's an amazing email platform. Secondly, and coming in more with your collaboration, is you get an online Office suite that's comparable to Microsoft Office. You have a Word document called Docs, a word processor. You have a spreadsheet application instead of Excel called Sheets. You have a presentation program. It has a bunch of these programs built in, but unlike the offline Office suite, there is an online suite that's similar. But unlike that, unlike the offline version, you can actually do collaboration. So you can have multiple people editing the same document. You can see where they are, so you're not working over each other. You can leave notes in the margins, and you could have 20 people working on it, and the way they've built it, you won't be tripping over each other, unless you're intentionally trying to. So it's a great Office suite. Basically, you can control your business. For Brand Shouter, it is the base of my business. I'm one of those people who I love software and I love trying new things. And I've tried replacing it just to see if I could. And I have been unsuccessful because it is literally the best on the market at everything.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the collaborating, which you talked about, is huge because version nightmare is a thing when you have attachments, you have different people working on things. That have a live document that multiple people can access at one time it just streamlines the whole process.
And it keeps version history. So if I make a document, you go on there and change something, I'm like, what just happened? I can go back and see, Adam made this adjustment, and right. I can either keep it, or if I thought that, for whatever reason it messed up what I was trying to do, you can always revert back pretty easily. So yeah.
Yeah, and so that's docs. And do you use slides as well a lot when collaborating?
I'm not a big slides user in general, but when I do any type of presentation, slides is what I use.
Okay.
It's just as capable as PowerPoint. Might be lacking a feature here or there, but for 99.9% of use cases, it's just as capable. It's 100% online, which in the past I've used it to build presentations for digital menu systems even. You can build it out in slides and load it up on like a Raspberry Pi, if you really want to get geeky. But that
Right.
said, you can actually create it so that you get all the geeky stuff out of the way, and then the business owner can easily update a slide, and now their digital signage is making sense, and they can keep it up to date without having to be a geeky person or a techie person.
That's cool. What's Raspberry Pi?
Raspberry Pi, those are those little build it yourself computers you can buy for like, I think you can get a whole kit for like $100 on Amazon. They're super geeky, but they're cheap, they're little, and they make great digital menu computers because they're small
Okay.
and get out of the way. Yeah.
Cool. And so you can sync Google Slides with that. So the digital menus, like you had mentioned, are really easy for the business owner to update, but you can have the graphic design, the look and feel all detailed out. And then it's just,
Yeah. Yeah, I did back a few years back for a library here in actually over in LaConner. I actually built a digital sign that would rotate slides, and their team I think they're still using it. Their team's easily able to get in there, change a slide in Google Slides, and then it just auto updates on the screen, so they can change it from any computer, and the screen will automatically reflect that. So
oh,
it's
very cool.
a cool use of that.
At the very beginning, you talked about the email portion. I think
Mhm.
I also want to mention the domains, because previously to starting Madak, I had everything with GoDaddy and kind of felt like that was my only option. They did some really great marketing for so long. Now with Google Domains, I brought everything into there, and it's just really seamless to be able to collaborate with your G Suite as far as like managing your emails that you're talking about, and giving people access to different domains and permission levels and
Definitely.
things of that nature.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't personally use the domains feature a lot, but I've used it with you, and
yeah,
the ability to, because Brain Chatter has its own domain system, so I've kind of left that to the side. But from an ease of sharing, from just an ease of connection, especially once again, we're not talking about this as geeky people, even though I tend to be a little geeky. We're talking about this from a small business person's perspective or a medium business person's perspective who doesn't want to waste time being technical. It's super easy to grab a domain. It connects immediately over to G Suite. You can start creating email accounts and everything just goes. So yeah, the domains is definitely a really cool feature.
yeah, I totally agree. So, okay, so there was one more thing that I wanted to talk to you about as we kind of wrap up. So in the email, we talk about Gmail, the email portion. We kind of tacked on domains on there. The Google Drive, the actual storage of that. Part
Mhm.
of what I purchased when we started up here was the small business account, which gives you unlimited Google Drive storage,
Yep.
which is a huge feature. I mean, it takes a little bit to upload big files if you're going to do a lot of photos, videos, etc. But if you don't have the luxury of a server or knowing exactly how to manage things, because when you think about it, Dan, likes of us, you've got more robust knowledge of different software and hardware than myself, but you've got business owners that are looking to just focus in on their business, and
Right.
and that's what G Suite is really catered for and allows them to do that and not have it be very overcomplicated.
Yeah, G Suite. So the drive part, and we touched on the whole Office Suite part of that. That is seamlessly integrated into Drive.
Right.
So as you're creating new files, it just sits on your drive. And yeah, with the business account or higher, you get after 5 accounts, you get unlimited storage. So if you're looking, it's $12 for that second tier account or higher. So you're looking at $60 and you get unlimited storage on the internet that's redundant and backed up. In other words, if one of Google's servers goes down, it's already on another server. You don't have to worry about losing your information. And they make computer applications that you can install that integrates it with your computer so that you don't even have to use the web interface if you don't want. Personally, I use kind of a mixture of the two, but the integrated application, the only thing that you'll notice is it's a little slower than accessing files on your computer because it has to download them from the internet. But
Right.
it other than that, it feels like you're just using files on your computer. And you can copy, paste, do anything you want, open. And yeah, the unlimited storage, I actually have an article I wrote on my site about how photographers could really use G Suite, because a lot of these programs out there like Pixie or Pass, SmugMug, all of these different photo programs require that you pay them a pretty decent amount if you want to keep your raw photos and your
Right.
then your flattened photos and all that. With Google Drive, you have unlimited storage, and it doesn't downgrade quality. It's literal storage. You can just drop your photos over there, and you could have 30 terabytes of photos, and Google's not going to complain because that's what you're paying them monthly for. So
Yeah, that's a great tip for the photographers. So Google Calendar and Hangouts is also Google Meet, which is the video conferencing platform as well. Those are big functions for us, I assume yourself.
Yeah, Hangouts is going to be eventually going the way of the dinosaur. Google's trying to eventually kill it, but a lot of people are using it. They've replaced it with Meet, and Meet they've been, especially right now during the whole COVID pandemic, they've actually been beefing it up. I'm actually surprised we're using Zoom right now, Adam, but
well, because I can't figure out exactly how to do Meet to
they probably won't allow you. It's Google, Facebook.
Yeah, so Zoom makes it easy, so that's why we're doing it that way.
It's true. But they've been beefing up Meet to the extent where Meet is actually very feature rich, definitely on par with Zoom. And they've been doing it for free. Before, Meet used to be only for the G Suite users. Right. And it's definitely a G Suite product. It's integrated throughout, which is one of the beauties of G Suite in general, is everything just works together. But yeah, it's a great thing. And of course, like you said, Calendar integrates with it. And Google Calendar is kind of one of the de facto standards in calendaring. There's very few products that are as feature rich and as good and as easy to use. So.
Yeah, so one of the last topics we talk about here is Google Keep and Task. I don't have a lot of experience with that. Do you use either of those features?
I have. My honest answer is Tasks is somewhere between a personal to-do list, like personal, like get the milk, get the eggs, or like a very basic personal business to-do list, like, call Bob tomorrow, call John tomorrow. It's not going to replace, your more robust programs like you and I both use Asana, and there's Monday and Trello. It's not going to replace those, but it definitely has a use. And if you just want to give yourself a reminder for tomorrow and you don't want to throw it into a big project management system, the Tasks is a great system for that. Keep is kind of a unique note app. It's very basic. It doesn't allow you to do a lot. But what it does do, it does great. And it creates basically digital yellow Post-it notes that you can type as much as you want, but you can't do a lot of formatting. It's literally just dump your brain. The beauty of Keep is it's accessible in all of the G Suite applications. So like within Google Docs, you can pull up Keep and see your notes. You can also download apps for your various, hopefully you can't hear this plane flying overhead. Sorry.
You're on a beautiful beach. It's okay.
The Cessna's going overhead. The Keep is accessible on your mobile devices and so forth too. So it's a really nice multi-platform. I'm an Apple guy, so Apple Notes works across all my devices and is great. But if you happen to use maybe a Windows computer, a Mac here, and maybe an Android device, Apple Notes doesn't help you. So you need a cross-platform note-keeping app, and Keep does that really well, and it's clean and quick and easy. So
awesome, that's great. So last question then for you is, and I'm kind of catching you off guard a little bit, any tips or tricks that we didn't put in the Madak Monday that you'd like to share to the users out there that can help someone who's thinking about G Suite, or maybe somebody who's using G Suite that doesn't even realize that there's a feature in there?
Yeah, well, so kind of I touched on the photography use, and that's true of a lot of businesses. You translate that to your business. whatever file storage, you know, if you do video work, or maybe you've had video work done for your business, video tends to take a lot of space.
Yeah.
You can store raw files, you know, if you ever need somebody else to work on that video in the future.
That's forever too. Obviously you got to keep paying them every month, but that's forever to have access to.
Forever. And it also has versioning control too. So if you replace it with something, you can actually go on and revert back within, I forget, there's a set amount of time, but it's pretty decent. So you can hit
30
that
days,
version.
I remember.
Is it 30 days? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
What other tips? Well, so they make two applications for the computer. One is made for the personal user, and it's called Drive Backup and Sync. You can actually install both of them side by side. If you keep a lot of files on your computer and you need a backup solution for your computer, Drive Backup and Sync will actually work as a, you know, individual machine backup to Google Drive.
Yeah.
That you can then use to restore it if your computer ever crashes or you buy a new one.
Right.
And then Drive File Stream, which is the more professional one, they both allow you access to your files. The difference is the Backup and Sync actually downloads all of Google Drive on your computer. So if you have a ton up in Drive, if you want to be able to access it, you are going to use up all your hard drive space potentially, or run out of space. Whereas Drive File Stream actually references the file without downloading it. And then when you want to access it, it instantaneously downloads it as fast as your internet connection will let it, and give you access. So that's one little trick. A lot of professional users don't use Backup and Sync, but you can, and it gives you a nice individual machine backup solution. And then a lot of small business people don't realize FileStream exists, and FileStream actually makes it really easy to access your files without having to go through the web browser. So awesome.
That's a great tip. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, thank you for joining us on the first interview edition of Madak Monday. And we know you're got to head back to the beach, so we appreciate you taking time away from us.
Yeah.
And
you don't want to see what I'm wearing below my shirt here on the Zoom call.
And so just kind of finish off. Tell us a quick 30-second, because I didn't do this at the beginning, like I said I was going to, about Brand Shouter. Who are you? Where are you? Kind of where do you fit in the grand scheme of marketing agency?
Yeah. So Brand Shouter is a digital marketing agency. We specialize in web design and the services around your website, whether it be hosting or domains, or we actually do resell G Suite too. I don't know if that competes with you, so I don't want to get stuck on toes.
If you're a small or medium-sized business looking for G Suite, Dan's your man.
Yeah, and you know, and the cool thing about that is Google gives us a discount, so we resell it at the same cost Google sells it for. So you wouldn't even pay a markup. But yeah, we specialize in that. We were located for a while just across the street from you in Stanwood. I've made the decision personally to move my family over to the Midwest. And so my business will be moving to Iowa, of all places. I'm going to be missing the scenery in the background. But that said, other than that, we've been in business since 2013. It's been 7 years, a little over 7 years now. And been, yeah. Just enjoy.
Well, you're gonna enjoy Iowa. I went to University of Iowa, so go Hawkeyes. And got a couple people that I will see this that I'm sure from the Midwest and Iowa. So somebody will be knocking on your door for sure.
I think I have to become a, what is it? UNI or
UNI. I think they're
Cedar
the Panthers.
Falls. Is that that apparently is going to become my team.
Northern Illinois or Northern Iowa. Sorry.
Northern Iowa. Yeah.
The Panthers. Great. Dan, thanks again. Appreciate your time. And I'm not sure exactly how to end this, so I'm going to end this whole Zoom thing.
Sounds good. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.